meanwhile, I was working on what was to be one of the most complex technical pictures, and the biggest picture MGM had made for many, many years, particularly the thing called Carousel. Carousel was a device where the story was that you lived until the age of 30. At the age of 30, you surrendered, you went to Carousel, and in a ceremony, you were killed, you died. But if you could reach, you were transported up towards the ceiling of Carousel, where if you reached the top, the ring at the top, and touched it, you would be renewed. Your life would be spared, you would be renewed. And so the goal was, hope springs eternal was the theme. In other words, even when you're sentenced to death, if you can reach that ring, then you can survive. In fact, in the story, you realize later that there was no eternal life, there was no ring, and no one had ever touched it. And so it was merely a way of inducing the people to accept death, but accept the possibility that there was life to come in a society that had everything. It was the land of pleasure, the land of joy. Catch was that you died at 30. And so to build Carousel, they decided to open the tank at MGM where I had shot the wreck of the Mary Dear, and put huge engines in that would turn the turntable, that would bring people around, and rotate the top at the same time, and put strings in or wires in that would pull the people up. And the idea was that 20 or 30 people at a time would ride around like a merry-go-round on wires which had to be invisible because it should look like gravitation. The wires would be invisible and turn at the same time, all on hydraulics. So it was an engineering feat of some magnitude. In fact, at one time, they thought that the floor at MGM, even the floor beneath the tank would collapse, would be too heavy, wouldn't be heavy enough to support it. And this and other technical things were going on, costume designs, makeup, hair, the building of other sets and the choosing of locations. And the film started shooting. And again, it was incredible to be back in the saddle at MGM on the old Stage 30. In fact, at one point, Stage 30 was opened and joined with Stage 29 because Stage 30 wasn't big enough for the Ice Palace set which they built. So it took up 2 sets. And so it was on a scale and a magnitude that really was very, very lavish. And it felt incredible to have, again, all this great technical advice and these marvelous technicians at my disposal. And that was the way I made the film.